Hi there friends, and welcome to episode 6 of the Spaceblock series. I'm Icon, and today I want to go for the green signs for good. So I've accumulated some space wealth across the time between this and the last episode. 800 units of AstroTurf in my pocket. Let's go. So last time we finished the production of these red science packs, so I'm quite happy with this, but also necessary for our progression are the green ones, so this will be our today's goal. Let's see how puny my efforts were in terms of soil production. I really want to amp up the total amount of production soon, but soon TM, you know. We also happen to need more power production, I think, but one thing at a time. So, well, this does look like we could have an adequate amount of building space here after all. Yeah, I think we're in the clear. Just a little bit out of blocks, but yeah. No biggie. We got this. First off, well, let's see how much we got produced here. 60. Okay. And beyond that, also not necessary anymore. I got, what, 400 automation science packs? I had no clue they stacked that far. Okay, now, last time we took this on our to-do list, so we're going to need a lot of things here. So first, for the belt production, we will need 12 assemblers. So let's get started with that. Just realized that I didn't even build enough assemblers to begin with. Jeez. Well, this whole situation here ain't that easy in general. We are still more or less on a permanent resource shortage. I have no large-scale production of things here whatsoever. So yeah, we definitely still need some work to be done. Okay. Where are the furnaces? There. But yeah, I'm still quite positive considering how far I got with everything here. Okay, so let's get started. We will need again coal for this enterprise, and let's just do it like that. I want to use the room I got a little bit more efficiently, you know, and I figure that this is one of the easiest ways of doing it. Output, input, output, input. Okay. Just need to be very careful that such blunders like the other episode don't happen again. Okay, but now we should be capable of producing on both sides of the belt. That's one good thing. And we can't just split off the coals here into our new array. So now we will need those iron ore replicators. Okay. I thought about whipping them up like this over here. Yeah, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Oh, I had exactly the right amount in my inventory. Okay. Whatever. So, you dudes produced the iron ore for me. And now, if everything works out according to my plan, I will be capable of connecting these two belt systems just into each other. Into another. I'll do it like that. Due to reasons that will become visible in a moment. Alright. Let's see. I need that cleaned out on one side of the belt. Okay. So now we need a ton of inserters. I wish I would be already capable of building up a mall here, but we're really far away from that. Output and input. Output and input. Output and input. Ah, well. Let's stop doing this like that. Okay, so the first of these dudes can already start their job, I'd say. So let's kickstart this here. And outputters go on this side. And this way we should be capable of producing enough iron ore here to get everything done. So much handcrafting still involved. So much handcrafting still involved. Okay, you dudes were the output. Okay. More power poles. There we go. Okay, so now, sooner or later, this whole procedure should fill downwards there. Okay, we are really getting there quite quickly. So now this all needs to go into smelters. Well, I see a very easy option of doing this. And I can't say I wouldn't like it. Here we go. And just like that, we got all the stuff we need together on one belt. It'll just take some time until it finally trickles down into the other machines here. Probably I can pick up some excess ore somewhere, possibly. Yeah, here, wonderful. It's just going to be a lot faster if I start the procedure on several machines at once. Alright. We are still a little bit in the positive side, energy production-wise, but tell you what, I feel like we should just expand our little area here one more time. So, yeah, well, production ain't that horrible. It was already way worse. So we're just going to continue here. In between the lines, that is. Alright. So, 12 tons of handcrafting later, we will be fine, promise. So, now we got that. Why do I only have 2 furnaces? Ah, because you invest 1 furnace there. Shoot. Okay. We will take this like that. Still taking quite some time until these machines are finally capable of outputting the ore completely. But, you know, we are producing a glorious amount of 0.9 ore per second. This means 1 unit of iron ore per second in average once these machines are all working. Yay! Progress. Okay. Well, let's just build that new machine here for coals. You know. So. Here we go. Arf. Let's whip them all up like that. So this one needed a kickstart, but the others should be all capable of doing their job accordingly. Okay. Let's just enrich that belt, and later on I will go for that. So I'll put these dudes over here, and well, nah. Let's go down here. Once I have better power poles available, we'll build a little bit more compact. I was considering using reds to output that thing, but then I realized these small power poles have real problems with such compact builds, and therefore I'd rather not. Let's just go classy. Classic smelter array. So shouldn't they be green and not red? It's irritating me, but actually all my continuously working machines are colored like that. Why, actually? This doesn't look healthy, but everything's working out just fine, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay, so this is going to be the iron plate we need for our belt production, you know? Those are really sick amounts of production necessary here everywhere. And I'm burning through the allocated iron plates before the run of today in a amazing speed. I'm really horrified about the actual speed in which I'm consuming my materials here. I didn't expect it to be like that, you know? Oh, come on, guys. Seriously? Are we now? Okay. I need a mole. As soon as possible. Okay. And one piece of piping. Now then. Why is it like... Why is the production only 1.8 kilowatt? Ugh. Ah, now everything is connected. For some odd reason, they weren't connected to the grid. Apparently none of these power poles touched both of them. Whatever. It's a steaming hot mess, literally, but it's okay. Now, I got the necessary assemblers. What makes this whole thing so costly and hard to facilitate is the insane amount of assemblers in general that's necessary. I mean, later on we will replace that with space matter furnaces, but at the end of the day... well, wait a sec. But at the end of the day, we still will need a terrible amount of assemblers just for the coal production, because we can't outsource that. Okay. Now, intermediate. Here goes the iron gear wheel, and here goes the transport belts. And none of these machines will ever be remotely satisfied with materials, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay. But, I mean, let's take it with a smile and start outputting these things into the chest here. I mean, come on. We set this up. Now it can work for us a bit. Okay, so this means we got this part of the job done, which was sadly the smaller one. So we'll now need the exactly same amount of iron ore production, but on top of that, we'll also need copper production. Fun. Now, let's get started with the iron production. I'm really considering the off chance that I'm not featuring enough territory here. My goodness. Science is tough as nails here, at least at the beginning. Okay, so let's reduce the iron ore into this direction, I'd say. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'll need to widen that a little bit here. Create ourselves a little bit of a platform here. Okay. So, it's 9 of these dudes. And now at least I can pick up some transport belts to work with, you know. I'm aware that this is not getting me too insanely far, but it's still better than the madness we were in before. I really thought that I had pre-produced enough materials before this episode today started. My goodness, how wrong I was. Wow. I'm really surprised. I keep underestimating the insane material costs of these setups, but they are quite insane. So As a matter of fact, let's do this a little bit differently. I hate it how it looks like, but I think I can... 25 units. Pick up some more resources since we're still in the handcraft land anyways. Going to expand this little rock here like that. Promise I'll make it look nicer later. So, but for now we are in a resource shortage and I need to work accordingly. No, what crossed my mind was the fact that this assembly here, that won't work. It won't work. We're going to make it differently then. This idea crossed my mind now too. So we'll need 3 assemblers for the coals for this enterprise. So we'll just produce the coals right here for the first time. Okay, now goes the same procedure. We do the output inserters first. And afterwards, the input inserters. And this array will produce its own coal at the end of the day. It should be self-sufficient with that. Okay. Wanted to say we just need to power it up, and then I noticed that I'm all out of power poles too. It's kind of depressing. Okay. Then I need some furnaces too. I'm quite amazed how much pain I need to go through to just whip up bare minimum of green science or science production in general here. But it's a good pain. I like it when mod packages have surprising challenges. You know, I'm all down for obvious how would I call it, challenges like C-Block. Doesn't come as a big surprise that you're royally screwed when you look at these amounts that you need to create, or Pyanodon doesn't really beat around the bush about its complexity either. But this one looked quite tame at the first glance. But turned out it's a monster. So the only good news I have for myself so far is I do have more and more larger amounts of resources available on all the other grids, which does provide me with an ample stockpile of kickstart materials, so I don't need to run around that often or I don't need to wait that long for kickstarting procedures. Here we've got plenty of coal, plenty of iron ore. Everything's really pretty sophisticated at this point. Okay, but we're going to try it like this. I want to give it a try. So we'll do this one like that, and this one like that. And let's see, maybe it'll work out like I want it to. But only if I can get enough iron plates going to make the dream happen. But luckily we store here already a couple of them. Okay. So, what's wrong with them? They got no materials. I was somehow so sure that I actually already fed them. How wrong I was. Okay, so now we're going to output into that direction, and let's see. Yeah, here we have the power cord issue I was talking about. Yeah, well. Let's do this nevertheless one time here. So these are... There we go. Just need to make sure that you don't break the harmony here. Okay. So that's the iron we need for our little endeavor here. Okay. But you see, we are growing, we're doing things ever faster now, due to the simple reason that things are working out better and better. I don't think that I should have this one here, though. I really feel like this one will behave way better down here. Because at this corner here, this inserter is grabbing iron ore for this machine, and when this inserter here, the red one that was here, I was afraid that these might interfere with a proper supply. Could be right about that. Okay, so here we go. That's our iron we need. Now off to the copper. We luckily need a smaller amount. We only need 6 copper assemblers. That means 2 more coal assemblers. So let's do this over here. Probably... Oh, dang. Not enough room for that. Okay. Let's make this little area wider. Oh man, landfill production is so slow. Could have amped that up later. Okay, and we also don't manage to satisfy all our assemblers anymore. That's bad. That's seriously bad. So it turns out the needs of my little factory here are growing a lot faster than I had anticipated. I mean, in some way that's beautiful, but in another way it's also quite horrible, because I realize how friggin' inefficient my resource production at this point is, but relying on these space smelters is also not really an option right now. I don't have a real income of these materials whatsoever. Like, I would need to rely on random income, very bad, on a random income of uranium and oil. And while I did that a little bit, and I got stockpiles for a couple of space matter furnaces, in that amount, I realistically need them. I'm nowhere near close in supporting myself, to support myself in these scales, so this has to wait. And that's why I also decided to not even try anymore, because I didn't feel like this was a realistic try to support everything with these fancy space matter furnaces, even though they might be so much more efficient. Okay, so here goes the output first. Alright. I do insist on amping up my power production that quickly, simply because I'm afraid that if I start running out of coal, things can go downhill really quickly from there on. And this is one of the, in my humble opinion, one of the worst case scenarios in Factorio in general is when your power production for some reason takes a nosedive, material-wise, and you need power to produce the materials which you need to produce power. And this is a very bad state. It's always better to be over-prepared and have way too much power for your current situation. There we go. I wish it would be that much, way too much, like I call it, but at the end of the day, we do move 12.6 units of coal already over that belt. But this is so... What does make me a little bit nervous here is that these yellow belts can only move 15 items per second for real. But as far as I see, this is the real throughput of these 2.1 per sec. I hope, at least. I am a little bit afraid that once this rate here grows over 15, things might fall over me, and I might... Basically, I wonder how much pressure I can put onto one of these belts, but logically thought, the only real motion of these units produced here is happening in this small part here. So 6 units go out, 5 units go back in. So I hope you guys understand what I mean, and maybe you can give me some thoughts about this topic. Maybe I'm breaking my noggin about nothing, but maybe I am onto something which denies me to build these arrays as large as I want them to be. Because basically, if I would expand this array until it realistically produces these 15 units per second, this would be really large. And this would be a really, really long belt at this point. So I think you get the idea. Alright, I just noticed that now we should be... Oh, come on, game. Stop trolling like that. Okay, now we got the 6, right? Yeah. So, yeah, this area is messy, I know. I'll fix it, promise. Okay, until then, we're going to run out of iron again. Goodness. The consumption of iron here is insane. Okay. But one thing I do enjoy is that my factory build looks a lot less messy than before now. Okay, we seriously need a little bit more than that. But, well. At least that means I got something to do while I'm running around, grabbing 12 units of landfill at a time, trying desperately to set things in motion here. Okay. But now at least I can put the coal on the same side. Because I really did like how this worked out in this array here. And I wanted to keep going with like that. So, them dudes are grabbing that stuff back in. I'm also really considering using the nanobot mod, because I'm really, really sad about the complexity of these inserter patterns, because it's really super easy to mess yourself up with these, like placing them in the wrong order and such, only because you're growing tired of the complexity shenanigans here. Okay, here we go. Now we need to kickstart that. Give me some copper ore, thank you. And we're almost there. We're almost there. Now, let's pipe that over here. Put some of those on top of that, and I feel very, very relieved to see that this array is going to be finished soon. We still need to kickstart the coal production here a bit. I am well aware that I seem to be overproducing coal in extreme amounts, but little do I care. Okay. Now we got that, and we got... Oh boy, we ain't got the iron assemblers for that one yet, or did we? Oh, we did, okay. For a second, I was afraid that the large task was still ahead of us, but no, no, no. We're already there. I hate small power poles. They are so excessive, you know. Okay, so green science now needs us also to produce inserters. So let's see, how does that done again? Iron gear wheel, electronic circuit, and okay. So we will be dropping down this here. We will produce the copper cables there. Takes a while until the copper is hitting town, but it's okay. So copper cable, and then we're gonna be needing iron gear wheel. There's the actual assembler. Just thinking about how to put these things together to make a easy solution possible. So here we go, and we could, I think, dump it like that, or is that too far away? No, it should work like that. Okay, so these dudes need iron plates though, and not the iron gear wheel. Ah, that's what the inserter actually needs. My bad. So these dudes only need iron plate. Not too efficient here, but probably I'll just pipe it like that. There we go. So we get some throughput here and something here. Now this should work just fine. And the inserter machine now still needs those iron gear wheels from somewhere. Okay. I know what I'll do. Let's make it like, let's do it like that. Whoop-de-doo. Let's power it all up. And now things should work out just like I want them to. Except for the fact that the iron gear wheels obviously need to back up there, but who cares? Seriously, who cares? This thing now has all the necessary materials to produce inserters. Wow, this is one dirty build. Gotta say, this is really, really one dirty build. But little do I care. So, let's see. Shouldn't we be capable of doing it like that? So, grabbing these from here, going here a little bit on an over the edge action. Wait a sec, I needed more than one grain science assembler. Never mind. Never mind. Well, whatever. So, well, I'll see how I'll organize that. This is all not too charming for my taste. Whoops. I think we're really at the end of this episode, and I'll just consider how I'll put that up. Probably completely different after filling this up with a little bit of landfill. I was hoping that I could get a quick solution there, but I somehow forgot that we won't be building just one grain science assembler. We're going to go for more than that. Anywho, thanks for watching, my dear friends. That's today's episode. We almost got there. I mean, next episode I will finally build that little laboratory area I'm dreaming about. And yeah, good stuff is happening there. overall, I am super happy with how my little factory here works out. We are at a very stable point. Power production is growing out of hand. I need way more room than that, for sure. But yeah, everything so far is looking pretty nice. Technological advance will bring us to the point where we can produce space matter more safely, and I can't wait. Alrighty, drop your comments down below. Leave me a thumbs up on that video to make it more visible to the rest of the world if you might want to do so. I'd be really, really happy. And of course, feel free to check out the channel. Daily videos happening there. Just leave a subscription and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss anything from me in the future. Have a good time, and can't wait to see you here on the Spaceblock again. Bye-bye.